welcome, guys.
Technology's great. We love Star Trek. Cut. Oh, hey. How's it going?
Shake that Laffy Jaffa. Shake that Laffy Jaffa.
They're so good. So this thing on top is the chocolate ganache. So it gets like a crunchy shell to it.
Yeah, you have to do it at the right temperature, or add the chocolate and get the chocolate to a certain temperature to make it do certain things. As hot as I get it, it won't ever harden like that. You have to do it, it has to be a lower temperature, and that's one of those things that would be more risky to try and do it in the microwave like I do with the heavy whipping cream. It's better done with a double boiler. You know.
Where you can really control everything.
Yeah.
They're so yummy. Raspberry Jaffa cakes. I've never had a Jaffa cake before today. Found at Aldi. The one place where I get to sample lots of different international foods.
And we're drinking international espresso.
Italian espresso and German cookies.
Would the Brits call these biscuits? Would this be a biscuit? Is it Jaffa cake, or is it? No, it's probably they call it a cake.
It's a Jaffa cake, yeah.
Sponge cookies.
They say cookies, but this is also developed for use in America, or for sale in America.
Yeah, but their cookies are like, they call cookies like chocolate chip cookies. Those are cookies, but they have so many different types of biscuits. Like there's two biscuits, there's savory biscuits, sweet biscuits. They say there's a big difference, and
We use cookie to cover a very broad spectrum of desserts here in the United States.
Yeah. So our biscuits are like fluffy flour cat head balls.
Southern creations that you pour gravy on top of and for breakfast and have bacon on the side, or sausage, or white gravy with sausage inside.
Or chocolate gravy.
I never was a fan of the chocolate gravy.
Now, I had tasted, before I made that chocolate gravy, I had tasted chocolate gravy and wasn't impressed because it was like, I felt like I was putting chocolate water on top of my biscuit, but this was like
Decadent.
luscious. Yeah. Camera's right there, just off screen. I mean, the camera. The camera's just off screen.
The microphone is right there.
The microphone is right there.
I know, we finally figured out how to attach the microphone to the stand for the first time today. We've just been kind of hanging it on the microphone stand.
Yeah.
And today we found out how to attach it. I think that's a very ingenious solution.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious that it's been months, and we've just been jerry-rigging it and just hanging it. First we were setting it on its side, and then we realized it could be a standalone and stand up by itself, and then you got the microphone stand.
So if you haven't noticed, we're having our Hiptrek episode outside today. We've kind of had rain off and on today, but the temperature is lovely. It's not going to be that way for long. It's going to be blistering hot before we know it.
Yep, and I won't be here for most of it.
She's leaving me.
Yep. I mean,
I'm not going to cry about it on screen.
Well, I mean, I am going to be sad to be leaving people, but I will be so happy to get the hell out of this town.
She's going back to her mountains.
I am going back to my mountains. My lovely,
That's okay.
lovely mountains.
Our
Kayaking.
Hiptrek is not going to be affected by this because thanks to technology, we're going to keep on rolling like we always have.
Yes, sir. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to show you guys some of the mountains.
Just always remember when you're out and about and the only thing you have to film with is your phone, to put it always when you're filming in landscape mode.
Yes. Headmaster. Be careful. She's drinking coffee out of a soup bowl, and that is not her fault. It's because I had to wash dishes twice because the dishwasher's stupid. So Kara's drinking out of a soup bowl.
They drink a lot of coffee here because all of the coffee cups were in the dishwasher.
Yeah, we have about 12 or 13 of them.
Well, when you have 3 people in the house drinking coffee,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, Dylan and I drink coffee at least every day.
this coffee's amazing. I'm going to be up all night. Well, speaking of new and exciting things coming, is that what we were talking about? No.
I was just talking about the randomness.
Okay, yeah, then my segue wouldn't work. Sorry.
Good, because I can barely hear you.
Am I not talking loud enough for you?
Not as loud as you normally do, and it may be because we're in an open area and not in my room.
Yeah, the sound is kind of bouncing off.
Yeah. Well, no, maybe not bouncing, just going, not coming back. What is that? Is that a dead thing over there? Surely not. Surely it's just like.
Why do you think everything's dead? She looks out of the yard. That's a dead squirrel in that tree. That's something dead over there. Are you talking about that boot-looking thing?
You realize I did say I wonder. I'm not, like, declaring. I'm not an Emmy dead 8 hours ago. Tartlet. 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 Words lost all meaning.
This is my favorite episode of Friends.
Tartlet.
Stood on-
Save yourselves!
Ooh, taco shells. Can we make these?
We gotta make this.
Okay, before we get started talking about the episode of the animated series that we watched, we have had some news recently about different actors and actresses who have been cast in season 2 of Discovery.
Very exciting, very exciting.
The guy who's going to play Captain Pike is Anson Mount, which he is from the show
Hell on Wheels.
Hell on Wheels, which I've never watched. How many seasons have you watched?
I've watched the first 2 seasons.
Okay, and he's in there with other Star Trek person, Colm Meaney,
Yep.
who played O'Brien, which I like O'Brien. I didn't really care for O'Brien too much on Next Generation.
Yeah, we
But
didn't have much chance to really get to know his personality.
Well, yeah, and he wasn't the chief engineer, so
Right.
he was the background. He was a background engineer.
Yeah, he was just basically a transporter tech.
Yeah, but
Was it-
on
what-
DS9 he was the chief of engineering, so
Yeah.
it was, I liked him and Bashir together. It was funny.
And he hates the Voles,
Yeah.
your very favorite. And he's not a fan of the Spoonheads, or as he calls them, the Cardis.
The bloody Cardis.
The bloody Cardis.
I love him.
But it is very exciting that
Anson?
yes,
Yeah.
it's going to be in there. It's going to be strange to see him clean shaven and short hair, because I'm so used to seeing
Scruffy.
his ruggedy 1800s, early 1900s.
I don't guess I've ever seen him in anything, so I think I'm going to start watching Hell on Wheels.
I think you should. I think that's a
Yeah.
good. I think that's a good move.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the
And the-
second person, okay,
I'm sorry, I'm so excited.
is my personal favorite, and she's also from the same state that Miss Kara over here is from.
Go Mississippi.
Tig Navarro. Is it Navarro?
No, Tig Notaro.
Nataro. Sorry, I'm thinking of Naruto.
It's
or
okay.
something.
We got
Yeah.
it right.
She's on the show that we know her from. She's a stand-up comedian and stuff like that. But what we discovered her on was One Mississippi, and actually,
That was an Amazon show, right?
yes, it's
Yeah.
an Amazon Prime show, and it's really strange because Kara started watching it and watched I think there's only 6 episodes in a season.
Yeah, and there's only 2 seasons. It's been canceled, so.
It's been canceled?
Yeah. Sorry, you didn't know that?
No, that's stupid. That was a great show. But anyway,
Hey, she's going to be on Star Trek now. I mean, I know it's just going to be like a guest role, but that's going to
I love
put.
that.
I don't know. I just think it's awesome. I'm so glad that she could be on it, because if she was caught up in another season, she may not have had that opportunity.
Well, that's true, but I really enjoyed what the show was about, and just the fact that I loved the part when she was in the studio and in the show, and
Yeah.
just the talks that she would do. Like, she's got a really good radio voice. It's very soothing.
Yeah, well,
and
I think that's how she
mellow.
really started, and people, she started becoming famous besides stand-up comedian as she did the radio stuff.
Yeah. So very, very excited about that. Very excited.
And she's not going to be an engineer on the Enterprise or Discovery. It was on a different ship, and I cannot for the life of me remember the name of what ship she's going to be on.
So does that mean maybe just a guest?
That's what I'm thinking.
A guest role?
Yeah.
Possibly just one episode then?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. That's okay.
But you never know. You never know. They can always come back and...
That's true. You know, if they get good feedback from the fans and she enjoys it, you know, And really, Jeffrey Combs. Let's see some Jeffrey Combs this year.
Yes.
Can we please see some Jeffrey Combs?
Please.
I mean, even if he's a time-traveling Shran, I don't care. It's something.
Well, it doesn't even have to be Shran.
Well, no, just something.
I know he's already done an Endorian. It would be nice to see him as an Endorian, but I don't know. He's already been an Endorian, so I don't want to see him as a different Endorian
Yeah, if it's not
character.
Shran, then yeah.
Maybe a Tellarite. That would be like Jeffrey Combs. Oh my gosh.
That is very cool because we've seen him as so many different things.
I know.
And
Something.
That would be very cool though if he was a Tellarite because we've not seen. Have we seen a Tellarite yet? We haven't seen a Tellarite.
Just briefly in the mirror negotiations.
Okay, yeah.
You remember when the mirror Vok
Yeah. So.
But anyway, so they've started filming season 2 of Discovery. We're so excited because I keep seeing the actors are posting little snippets and pictures of on set. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's one of the great things about social media. You know, when you get obsessed with a show like that and people start filming and, you know, you get a lot of behind-the-scenes things that you wouldn't otherwise know or see or, you know, it kind of helps people stay pumped up about the show in the off-season, you know.
I really hope that they explore some of the other Discovery's bridge.
Bridge.
Some of the rest of Discovery's bridge crew that really didn't get a lot of screen time in the first season.
Yeah.
But we're still there. You know, they were always there as the crew.
Yeah.
But they just had maybe like some tactical lines here and there, and nothing really delving into their personal lives like we got with Michael and Tilly and Ash and all them.
I bet we'll get some more character development and interpersonal stories.
Yeah.
Now that we've got a second season, and you know, usually it's the second and third season that everybody starts to kind of fit and figure out, you know.
Well, and so much of season 1 was they were all fractured.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that these were off doing this and these were off doing this, and it was such turmoil that hopefully in season 2 we'll see it's going to slow down a little bit, at least to show us what life on the Enterprise was like, you know, because that's what all the other Star Trek shows focused on, was interpersonal relationships on a ship, on a long mission.
Yeah, and sometimes the monster of the week or the alien of the week.
Right.
You know, sometimes that was the main focus of the episode, especially in like TNG, but sometimes it wasn't always. Sometimes the alien of the week story was the B story.
Yeah. And we want lots of Klingon episodes. Lots of Klingon
episodes.
Like on actual Klingon homeworld.
Yeah, we do want to see Kronos because I'm really interested in this Star Trek's take, and because we are supposed to be delving more into the matriarchs of the Klingons.
Right.
And with, what is that woman's name? Mary Chieffo?
Yeah. Who plays the Rel.
Yeah. We know we're going to be hopefully seeing more of her.
Yes.
Because it was...
She has the iPad that can end the world.
Yeah. But, you know, I guess it was her family, her matriarchal, is that
matriarchal, yeah.
family, you know, that did all that to Vosh.
Vok and Ash. Hey, that's a good mashup of his name, Vosh.
Yeah.
Vosh. What does that remind me of, Vosh?
Yeah. The character.
No, in the book of Esther of the Bible. The king who married Esther, his wife that he banished. That was Vash. Her name was Vash.
Oh, I didn't know that. You think that's why they named that character in TNG Vash?
Huh. I don't know.
Because there's lots of different nuances like that. People's names that, and situations that, represent
Other stuff.
and would take
Yeah.
a keen eye of somebody probably watching it for the second or third or fourth time.
Well, those are the only 2 times I've ever encountered that name, TNG, and then also the Bible. But, growing up in a religious household, I was always kind of ticked off that the Bible didn't have more stories about women. Like, all the big main people who got stories in the Bible were men. And so I was...
Thank you, King James.
So I was always keen, like, on the stories of Esther and Ruth, because, they were, like, the 2 women that got their own books of the Bible.
Yeah.
Everything else was a man's name.
I know they always told us that the Song of Solomon was the book of sex in the Bible.
The book of sex.
We had this thing in youth group. Well, no, it wasn't a youth group. It was when I graduated high school. You went up to the college, whatever, and they called it the summer series for Sunday school that they did. It was called Sex in the Summer. And I don't know if that was like to lure people in to come to the Sunday school. But it was over the whole book of Solomon, and
Well,
they explained, like, this means he's thinking about this. I'm like, this is weird. This is weird.
It's weird. But you know what? When you grow up in church, you see a lot of weird stuff, and I don't know. Sometimes some of that stuff is what propels you to not be religious anymore, at least in my experience. But I just remember when I was younger, and I was required to, like, memorize stuff from the Bible. I would always go to, like, Psalms, Proverbs, Song of Solomon, Esther, Ruth. Like, I would go to the more poetic books of the Bible, because all of the boring stuff, I was like, I can't deal with all that.
When I was in I think the 3rd or 4th grade, they had this challenge where if you memorized all the books of the Bible, Old and New Testament, you got a Bible with your name on it. Well, I wasn't missing out on that.
Oh yeah, I could sing it. I learned all the books of the Bible. There was a Old Testament and a New Testament song.
I just learned them by looking at this bookmark that had them all on there. And then, like, years later in, like, vacation Bible school, when I was, like, a little team leader for the little 5-year-olds, they taught everybody a song. And I was like, well, I didn't have a song. Remember?
I had it from We Sing Bible Songs. It was a cassette tape and a book.
Did it go Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers,
Yes.
Deuteronomy,
Yep.
Deuteronomy,
Yeah.
Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd...
I don't remember them.
Something. That's all the 1st and 2nds. Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Song of Solomon, Ecclesiastes, and the...
Something. I deleted that file out of my brain to make space for more useful things.
Well, you see, I can't remember them all, and I remember Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Romans...
Acts, letter to the Romans, 1st and 2nd
Acts, okay.
Corinthians, and whatever. I was always better with the New Testament
I
songs
was
than I
always better
was.
with the Old Testament.
Yeah. Yin and yang. Anyway, I don't know how we got on that. We were talking about women of the Bible. Whatever.
Well, Vash, yeah.
Vash. That's interesting, though. It makes me want to go back and read the Book of Esther. And
I thought you were
actually
going to say it makes me want to memorize the books of the Bible again.
no. Like I said, don't have room for that in my brain. That's what the internet's for.
YouTube video for another YouTuber and another channel.
There was one day me and my coworker at work were talking about something, and I was like, yeah, in the Bible. And she looked at me, she was like, I didn't read the Bible growing up like you did. So we were going to go out onto the internet, like thebible.com, and you can see every version of the Bible just for free on the internet. And so we went to it, and we get a pop-up. This site has been blocked by your company due to religious reasons.
So you probably couldn't go and look up passages from the Torah.
No, anything religious, anything labeled religious material is blocked.
That's funny. I like that. I like that about your company.
And anything streaming. There's no Pandora, no Amazon Music.
Oh, well.
And some of the actual local Memphis news stations, because you can stream the radio off of it or something like that, they block those.
So no streaming sites, no YouTube, no
Nope.
Facebook, anything you can stream on.
But there's an Xfinity Wi-Fi hotspot in my building, and I have a personal cell phone, so, I still have access to the full internet. But anyway, So yeah, we're excited about the upcoming season of Discovery, especially the announcements of Anson Mount and Tig Notaro, and also when you were just talking about seeing more of L'Rell on Kronos. I don't know if you saw the article or not, and we haven't talked about it, so I don't know. Michelle Yeoh, how do you say her name? Who played Captain Giorgio? How do you say her last name?
How's it spelled?
Yeoh. I don't know.
You? Michelle Yeoh?
I'm not for sure. I don't want to slaughter it.
Sorry.
It's been confirmed she's come back for the second season.
Very
and
cool.
They released some kind of...
We figured we'd see her again.
Well, they released a little clip or pictures or something, and I don't go watch that stuff because I want to watch it all fresh. But from an article I read, she is going to be a bartender in the Orion City on Kronos.
Well, that makes sense because, they say, and this is true even in the space realm, is bartenders and hairdressers. Yeah. Customers tell bartenders and hairdressers everything, and that's how she's going to get her in when she decides to call upon the Federation for them to pay their debt.
Yeah. And she needs to probably sit back and build up some funds or figure out her next move.
Well, and then she needs to find her some trustworthy partners, trustworthy enough until she sleeps with him and then kills them right after. Because she can do that. We've seen her do that.
Well,
she did it with 2 of them.
What if she gets, like, a hankering for some Kelpian? I mean, that's not good. That's not good at all. But, she probably understands that in order to survive in this universe without calling attention to herself, she probably needs to be a chameleon and just kind of adapt to whatever it is. Because she was the emperor over there, so she's got some wits and smarts about her.
Oh, yeah. She knows she's a master manipulator. Mm-hmm. We've seen.
But anyway, we're excited about Discovery.
Yep. Nathan Fillion.
It's getting chilly out here.
It is. Nathan Fillion, if you want to make an appearance, that'd be cool.
Nathan Fillion, I have seen you in Santa Clarita Diet.
You've seen your severed head in Santa Clarita Diet. Spoiler alert.
Y'all need to watch that show. It's so good.
It's very funny.
I'm a huge Drew Barrymore fan. I'm turning into a huge Timothy Olyphant fan.
And you should watch Timothy Olyphant on Seth Meyers. It is hilarious. His interview that he did just a few weeks back.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
Very funny. He's a funny guy. I loved him in Deadwood.
Now, this is how you know I like a television show. Normally when Dee and I are watching the same thing, she is finished with it. She binges and finishes it months.
Yeah.
No, sometimes months before I finish
it.
it. I have completed both seasons, and she's still on season 1.
No.
You on season 2 now?
I thought I was on season 1, and I had watched the first...
Oh, God, the lights attracting the bugs.
...episode of season 2, and then I watched the second episode of season 2 today.
I know, but I finished it like a week and a half ago. Like, I've been finished with it.
Well, you started it and finished it in, like... record time for you.
I know. I was staying up till 12, 1:30 on work nights to watch this show.
But see, here's the difference. There are some shows that you and your husband watch together. And so you can't just binge those because it would be rude to him. And then you'd be sitting there pretending like you hadn't seen it. And that's just...
Yeah, I don't do that.
That's just poor taste.
Yeah.
So... Like House of Cards, y'all watch House of Cards together.
Right.
And so I finished like 6 months. Like they just a few months ago finished the House of Cards that came out last May.
No, it was last year. We finished it before Christmas. She's exaggerating.
Well, still, Christmas. I finished it like the next day. Came out May whatever, and I finished it the next day. Trailer Park Boys just came out. Finished that.
Yeah. So that's how much I like Santa Clarita Diet. I absorbed it quickly, and I may watch it again because...
I love Drew Barrymore in it.
Yeah. I like her anyway, so...
Yeah. It's like... it's one of the best things I've ever seen Drew Barrymore in.
Yeah. I agree. Agree.